Mind you of the two teams, Phil Neville continues to deputise at left-back for Everton with Nuno Valente out with a hamstring injury. But Tim Cahill's back after missing his first Premiership game of the season at West Brom. So he and James McFadden come in for Kevin Kilban and Marcus Bent in the two changes to the side beaten at the Hawthorns.
Well, the one outstanding statistic for Everton this season, we know, is the chronic lack of goals, only 4 so far. And that must be what David Moyes has been looking at this week as he tries to put things right. Could have played Marcus Bent up front or Duncan Ferguson alongside James Beattie, but he's gone for James McFadden in the hole to try and support. And I think the reason for that, he might just want him to help out in midfield at times where Newcastle are very strong, and it might be a case sometimes as well of Tim Cahill swapping roles and making those late runs into the box, which he's so good at when he's on form. And there isn't too much outright pace in this team, but Andy van der Meijden on the left-hand side, he's certainly got that, and the onus is on the winger to attack Peter Ramage and try and make things happen from that side.
Newcastle's gradual process of getting their walking wounded back continues. Alan Shearer starts with the international break, meaning he's missed only one game, the defeat by Chelsea after his hernia operation. Albert Luque, who tore a hamstring in only his second Premiership match, is back on the bench. But there's no immediate return to Merseyside for Michael Owen, so Shola Amiobi plays again at a ground where he was sent off in May.
Well, I don't think that back four is the most watertight you'll find in the Premiership, but Newcastle have managed 6 clean sheets this season, and that's as many as they got the whole of last term. I think something to do with that is that strong midfield that can protect, and with Scott Parker and Emre in there, that's slowly building up a very good understanding. Emre's the one, he's got great technique and vision, and I think we'll find him popping up in some dangerous areas today to support that attack. It does lack the pace without Michael Owen, but Alan Shearer and Shola Amiobi, I mean, they're not the ideal combination together. Both like to play with a back to goal, but with Solano on the right and Nzogbi on the left can supply the service, well, we know what Shearer can do with it.
How the world of Everton fans has been turned upside down in the 6 months since they beat Newcastle here in May, thanks to goals from David Weir and Tim Cahill. A day later, they reached the Champions League qualifying when Liverpool lost to Arsenal, and yet here the sides are reunited with the chill wind of relegation, a big threat to Everton Football Club. Actually, since the win against Newcastle here 6 months ago, Everton haven't won by more than a 1-0 scoreline, but that would suit them down to the ground today. They'll be looking to draw on the positives of the 2 1-0 victories they've achieved in their last 3 matches, and possibly the international break came for them at just the wrong time, bearing in mind how they came off the back of that with the defeat at West Brom.
Yeah, I think also what they'll be trying to feed off is the 2 recent home performances. 1-1 here against Chelsea, and they beat Middlesbrough here as well at home. And you look at this Goodison Park crowd, and if they see this team come out and start sharply and start confidently, you know, they're almost worth a goal start. They can be a real boost for the side, but it's one of those days. It's a day for character for the Everton players. Go out there, want the ball, volunteer for it, and try and make things happen.
David Moyes has called for all the qualities from his players that you expect to take as read: hunger, desire, and character. It's the transformation that's been so shocking for Bill Kenwright. 1 minute you're looking at the bounty that comes with being in the Champions League, and next you're looking at the threat of the financial bonuses of being in the Premiership taken away. But there is still a long way to go in this particular season, and it's a heartening sight for Newcastle fans to have Alan Shearer back at the head of the line. A well-timed operation to coincide with the layoff through international football anyway, meaning that the only game he's missed was the one against Chelsea.
It's amazing, isn't it? Hernia operations a few years ago they used to take months to recover from, but Alan's back up and in action, and the Newcastle fan would love to see that leading out the side. Such an important presence in the dressing room as much as anything else, but there you get out on the park.
the ground today, where he actually suffered a bad injury in a pre-season tournament a few years ago that ruled him out for 4 or 5 months. Emre just behind, and Scott Parker in the line as well. Oh, Strictly Come Dancing.
Is that the salsa?
Vote them both out. Howard Webb is today's referee. David Weir, who scored in this fixture for Everton in their win at the back end of last season. Alan Shearer's enjoyed plenty of joy against Nigel Martin down the years. 14 Premiership goals Martin has conceded to Shearer in 13 head-to-head matches. Well, through the narrow confines of that dressing room corridor, the officials have to squeeze their way to the head of the line to lead out the two teams. And as ever, they come out here at Goodison Park to the strains of the 70s police drama, Z-Cars, and the blue lights have certainly been flashing for Everton. But how much of an emergency is there? Dip in form. We'll find out as they take on Newcastle after the break.
It's back to Goodison Park, where, as you can see, they are organising respectfully a minute's appreciation of the life of George Best.
Knowledgeable and passionate crowds in British football. So today, as the supporters of Everton FC and Newcastle United marking George's death and celebrating his massive contribution to football, we feel it to be only fitting to replace the traditional minute silence with a period of applause. So please, ladies and gentlemen, on the sound of Howard Webb's whistle, will you please pay your respects to the great George Best.
And I think George Best would have liked that. Join our match commentators, Alan Smith and Rob Hawthorne.
Well, a hat-trick short of equaling Jackie Milburn's goal-scoring record for Newcastle now. Alan Shearer is back at the ground where he launched his Newcastle career. And one of those who learnt from him is in the Everton strike force. And there he is side by side with him now, Everton's James Beattie. The two were together at Blackburn Rovers and maybe just be reminiscing there ahead of Howard Webb's whistle to start the match. Well, a year ago tomorrow, these two sides met at St James's Park, and Everton then were third from top in the table. They start this one third from bottom. A draw would be good enough to take them out of the bottom three. But really, they need to go for the win. A goal would be a start at a ground where they've struggled to find the net this season. This is Simon Davis, hit out by Celestine Babayaro. Davis has played the last couple of matches in central midfield, but his inclination is to drift out wide. It's been taken from him there by Babayaro. Here's Shola Amiobi, defended by Joseph Yobo. Amiobi's tangle here was with Cahill last season when he got sent off. Referee was Barry Knight. that day, and the repercussions of that saw Graham Souness get a fine and a touchline ban. Beattie to get the better of Titus Bramble. There's Arteta.
An opportunity to deal with that, didn't he, Titus Bramble, and the pressure from Alan Shearer. James Beattie, sorry. Just giving a little bit of encouragement that every striker looks for.
And for all the investment that Newcastle have made, there is still a feeling across the Premiership with the likes of Boomsong and Bramble at the heart of their defence. They are there to be beat. Here's Cahill. Easy pick up for Shea Gibbon. Here's header. Now Tony Hibbert. It's McFadden. Boomsong at his back, no foul. Into Phil Neville.
And the first thing that Everton will want to do is just try and start with a high tempo. And not too many pauses in the game. The ball goes out, put it back in play quickly.
Shearer linking up with Amiobi. Was caught then by Phil Neville. Neville, whose preferred position these days is in midfield, but needs must for Everton at the moment.
A couple of times Amiobi's been fouled. Not too much in it, just catching the forward.
Ramage and Boomsong and Nzogbe are behind Shearer. And this is an area where Nobby Solano's return to Newcastle has benefited them. Can he provide the service that those who've drifted forward require? Bramble has just joined the line as well to get into the opposing area. Looking for Shearer around the back, but that was anticipated by Nigel Martin.
Yeah, a little bit too much of a flighted ball, that one from Nobby Solano. Maybe a little bit more whip.
Here's Hibbert. Away by Babayara. Back by Parker. And it's Boomsong's kick. Shearer. Amiobi challenging with Weir, winning the battle of strength. And losing out to Van der Meyde. Here's Emre. Now Solano. Parker, it was quite tight for him, but he got away from McFadden. Amiobi, given away. Van der Meyde finds James McFadden. Arteta's forward to his right. Referee's allowed the advantage and now brought play back for the challenge by Bramble.
Well, that was a good opportunity. Bramble's tackle really did Newcastle a favour because Arteta bombing up that right-hand side could have been dangerous for them.
Neville's kick towards Beattie.
Well, they employ this straight free kick quite often, sometimes when Duncan Ferguson's in the team. It's all about getting the ball your man and just getting a touch whether you can get a header on goal or just flick it down. Climbs well, James Beattie, very well. Scoring more than him, needs a bit of confidence at the moment.
Goals in both of the last two Premiership matches here for James Beattie. In fact, he's the only Everton player to score for them here in the Premiership this season. Yobo managing to resist Shea Amiobi.
He really caught that one.
Beattie. Pretty tight for Andy van der Meijden. Bramble. Arteta. Now Cahill. Here's Tony Hibbert. Cahill.
This is an announcement.
Steer it out to Mikel Arteta.
For the convenience and comfort of your fellow supporters,
You can sense just that little bit of apprehension within the Everton side when they get on the ball. Just thinking twice about what kind of pass they're going to make. It's not flowing as you'd expect it to. And certainly picking up points, that's how I would normally play. But the crowd as well, just on the edge of the seats, really waiting for the team to get them going rather than the other way around at the moment.
Understand the edginess that is here at the moment. They're 13 points short of the total that they had at this same stage of last season. Beattie here is flagged offside. As I've mentioned, he's the only player to have scored here in the Premiership this season, and Everton are actually the lowest scorers not only in the English leagues but throughout Europe.
It's not a tag that you want for your side, is it? David Moore, as I said at the start, that is the one area that he'll want to try and get right. You do it is a different matter. All about confidence, really.
Beattie managed to turn away from Boomsong, looks for McFadden, Ramage got in the way, crucially for Newcastle. Well, Beattie then showed a clean pair of heels to Boomsong. Can he roll away from the defender this time? Look to set it up for Davis, but Beattie's won the free kick anyway.
I'll be pleased with those couple of bits of action, James Beattie. Good ball across goal. And using his strength to back into the centre half. Get the free kick. It's half a dozen to one, but the arms round. That's what Howard Webb sees. He was backing in Beattie. A little bit lucky maybe to get the free kick.
McFadden and Arteta over the kick. Davis going across to join them as well. It's McFadden, and it comes back off the goalkeeper, and Boomsong in the right place to complete the clearance. Now van der Meijden. Away by Bramble, then by Ramage. Here's Solano. Shearer. Emre. Ramage. Scott Parker. Solano. Shearer who strikes it. And it's closed down by Davis.
And first time Newcastle have been able to string a few passes together, keep the ball in that final third.
Babayaro. Away by Yobo, but he was caught in the process.
Well, this is when you want your centre forwards just to be anticipating, following the keeper in. A little bit of bad luck on James Beattie's part. It's popped up the other side. Good strike.
Suddenly warm the hands of Given in there again, and very nearly in the right place from Babayaro's back header. Here's Parker. Now Ramage. Looking for Amiobi, who got the touch.
It's little touches like that, isn't it? Whether it's Shearer or Amiobi, where you're looking for Michael Owen to use his pace to get in on it. Shearer's got his back to goal, so has Amiobi.
late in the week that it became apparent that Michael Owen wouldn't be able to make his return today, so hence today's partnership.
About Charlotte Yobo, one more than his fair share of headers so far. Everybody looking at the retirement of Shearer. Who's going to take over that famous number 9? Well, he's in the frame for it, Yobo.
24 now, Yobo. You'd expect that he's learnt a fair bit from his time alongside Shearer.
He's a skillful player, no doubt about that.
Between them, Neville keeping an eye on Shearer, Yobo just tracking Amiobi. Ramage's kick in Bramble's direction, but away by Cahill. On by McFadden. Here's Babayaro. Now Scott Parker. Bramble. Solano, cleared by Joseph Yobo. Weir. Given away to Neville. Cahill was caught in the crossfire there.
Maybe Solana that dived in. It was actually Scott Parker, wasn't it, that caught Tim Cahill from behind.
He's straight back up and in there, and he's got a good leap on him, Cahill. He might be a danger in this situation. It's Van der Meijden, swung it in low, and a rather haphazard clearance from Alan Shearer.
Got away with it. Everton, that was a routine free kick. He just didn't get the delivery right, Andy Van der Meijden.
He's got another bite at the cherry now. From Van der Meijden's corner, goes short to Davis. Neville. Tried to line it up for Yobo, but it's a comfortable clearance for Ramage. And Arteta is back. Here's Neville. Arteta. And Zogby. Tight on the touchline for Mikel Arteta. BT.
Just playing the percentage game at the moment when you're not confident, something that you often fall back on. Challenges in the air, getting the flick on, trying to get men around here. They won a few set pieces already, Everton.
Arteta's corner, Cahill was in there looking determined, but Shearer got it away. Neville. Now Van der Meijden. Well, they had plenty of presence in there, and BT furious that his colleague didn't pick him out.
Well, that's the thing with Andy Van der Meijden, who's playing on the left-hand side. You saw him naturally check in and try and find his centre forward. Overhit it by a stretch in the end. It's a difficult ball in from that angle.
James Beattie is now the subject of player cam. offside position.
It's a stop-start game at the moment, isn't it? On either side, finding the feet in terms of passing, finding a teammate, keeping possession, keeping the pressure on. Shakes his head.
Expression says it all from Graham Souness, who got a touchline ban for events here last May. It's a self-imposed ban from him today as he watches from the stand. Yobo pulling back there at David Weir, and Howard Webb wants a word.
It's always going to be a foul when you put two arms around your man. That's what Yobo did. He's had a couple of elbows on Yobo. It's a good old battle, those two.
Here's Beattie. Now Cahill. His challenge. Beattie. It's Cahill. Got the ball, did he? No. I believe Emery.
Beattie's layoff, he never got a hold of it in the first place. Centre forward, and he's having to stretch for it. Tim Cahill does get a piece of the ball. Didn't appear to get too much of Emery.
Challenge. So a full short from Parker for Ramage, and Van der Meijden got himself in the way. A tussle between Amiobi and Weir. Came off the hand of Amiobi anyway, while he was busy protesting that Weir had fouled him. Here's Babayaro, caught by Arteta. Newcastle trying to get some flow by taking the free kick quickly. Weir wins the ball, but Parker comes in to follow it up, looks to make progress. Yobo away to Emery. Now Amiobi, now Parker. Well, you have Babayaro up to his left and Zogbia there as well, and Parker made the wrong option.
Well, he's going to be in trouble here, isn't he? Babayaro pulling back Tim Cahill. There's good pace here, Cahill. Babayaro knows he can't get there. Obvious yellow card.
First booking of the game then to Celestine Babayaro. Well, Souness has come downstairs.
Well, he's clearly not happy. Neither side got things together, but he's expecting more from his team.
Beattie, want to get a header on. This kick by Hibbert. Controlled by Amiobi with Zogbia moving on ahead. Zogbia just tried to steer it back through to him. Solano, Amiobi's onside. Sure, Amiobi hits it straight at the goalkeeper.
And Shearer puts his head in his hands. He was expecting a cut back here. This is the kind of skill that he's capable of. I think he is onside. Shirley Amiobi. Good skill to cut inside. And it's decent effort. I don't think he could have really squared that one to Shearer.
Yobo, Amiobi, in comes Solano. Ramage, Now Scott Parker. Not the ball that Solano needed. This is Arteta. Beattie. McFadden up to his right. Cahill challenging. Ramage did well to win the header. McFadden strikes it against Boomsong. Here's Yobo. Pivots. Back in by Joseph Yobo. Climbing behind Ramage. It was a crucial header away earlier to deny Cahill.
Well, he's a big lad, Peter Ramage, and you had to be in this instance. Probably the best cross of the game so far, because James McFadden just puts it into an area where Tim Cahill can be so dangerous. Stay strong though, the defender.
Sixth game of the season for Peter Ramage, a product of Newcastle's youth system. More games than he'd played before this season as a whole.
Those challenges have we had so far, well into double figures. Centre forward against centre half. Another straight free kick.
Bit far out for Emery to have a go?
Well, you'd imagine so, whether he just tries his luck and hopes for bits and pieces off it.
Making free kick against Sunderland, but it's a bit ambitious from this sort of range for Emery.
They know themselves what they're doing. Newcastle.
It's Solano in the end, looking for Boomsong or Amiobi. They've got a deflection on the way to win a corner.
They seemed in 3 or 4 minds here off this free kick.
Somewhat outnumbered by the presence in front of him. It's Emery's kick. Easily dealt with by Phil Neville. And Zogbia did well to win it back in the first instance. And wins another corner.
Hasn't too many touches the ball, has he, Charles Zogbia so far? And been able to get into the game. Delivery has been poor from both sides so far.
Well, can Emery now get it right? By Van der Meijden in the end. Here's Parker. Babayaro. Ramage. Well, for persistent fouls, we're risking a booking.
Well, once again, showing his quick feet, no doubt that it is a foul. And Davy Weir accepts that. This is a much better angle and distance to cause Everton problems. Davy Weir just going back on the line by the post. It's a game of cat and mouse. Ramage going towards him.
And again, the debate between Solano and Emery as to who takes this on. Well, slightly more against him, but the distance in Emery's favour. Solano. Well, you can see what he was trying to do. Execution fractionally out.
Yeah, that's a really difficult skill. The keeper's over that side and he's just trying to con him. Make out that he's going to go over the wall and then just swivel the hips and go for that top left. Some distance off in the end.
Andre Solano scored in Newcastle's last victory at this ground. That was 4 years ago. Davis. Bramble. Neville. Away by Boomsong, this is Arteta. Fadden looking for Van der Meyde. Another important header from Ramage.
Yeah, he's had to be aware of Ramage once or twice. Van der Meyde just dropping off the full-back into a little bit of space on that far post.
Goes low, and the quality of the deliveries we've seen so far has been disappointing.
Well, it's been dreadful on both sides. Van der Meyde from corners and free kicks hasn't been good enough. You work hard to get into those positions. It's a part of Everton's game plan. Work for the set pieces, free kicks, corners, and you've got to make them pay when you get there.
Emotional day in prospect at Upton Park for our match coming up later. Manchester United's first game since the death of George Best from 3:30 on Sky Sports 1. Shot from Nsogbia.
Decent effort, work it out to the spare man in Nsogbia. Through the legs of Hibbert.
Here's Scott Parker. Now Solano. Biara's made a decent charge, but Arteta had matched that run. Seemed to take it out for the corner, though. He has. Corner.
Yeah, they're very close. Look from this angle as if it had just dropped over the line. Let's have a look. Yeah, I think it was.
Well, the quality from corners from both sides hasn't been what we expect so far. Now the moment for Emre to get it right, perhaps. Oh, it almost broke for them. But Titus Bramble couldn't squeeze it home from close range.
James Beattie, relieved man, who just popped off his foot into the danger area.
Emre tries his luck again, and this time Cahill wins it, and Zogby is underneath it. Here's Boomsong. Boomsong wins the ball and then hooks it back to Parker as bodies charge in, and it's slipped through, and there's a wonderful opportunity here for Shearer, and it's off the line in the end by Beattie.
Oh, Nigel Martin just did enough to delay the centre forward. It was a crashing challenge from Simon Davis in the middle of the park. It lets the play go on. I think Shearer's timed his run beautifully. Goalkeeper does well and well. Just when you want your centre forward out there defending, helping out, he comes to your rescue.
Emre's kick, and it's Ramage's header wide. Well, how lucky were Everton in?
Good chance for a header from Ramage. You're just expecting that man to round the keeper and rifle it into the back of the net. Crashing Simon Davies challenge. Maybe just needed to take another touch. Very tight angle. I think he was going in. Doesn't often miss the target, Alan Shearer.
Clash between Parker and Simon Davis.
That's the leading arm from Scott Parker, I think. He's drawn the free kick.
Van der Meyde. Oh, beyond Beattie, beyond everybody.
Oh, absolute beauty, that one. Got to get his line and length a couple of times and not found it, but that was spot on. Almost full. James Beattie, keep your eye on the centre forward in the middle. Can't quite get there. Beautiful ball. Titus Bramble couldn't get anywhere near it.
Davis looking to set Beattie away again, up against Bramble. Here's Arteta. Change of subject for player cam. Now we're going to concentrate on Alberto Solano. Here's Neville. Now Cahill. Warned of the impending arrival of Yobo, who then fouled him. Neville's kick. Arteta arrived. Oh, unlucky.
Oh, can't get much closer. Fair play to Arteta, he carries on. Yobo switches off a little bit. Doesn't get the challenge in. Unlucky.
Yobo. Here's McFadden. Neville. On by Beattie. Bramble. Initially looked as though he was prepared to let that run to his goalkeeper, but then decided with McFadden around he had to do something about it. Here's McFadden again. In by Davis, but against Parker.
One clear! Mikel, one clear! Come on, Mikel!
Davis's kick. Plenty in the air for Peter Ramage to deal with today. And he's not the challenge header. And they've won another free kick promptly. It's Zogbia who's given it away.
I just think that's a little bit clumsy from Zogbia, nothing else. Good quick feet from Arteta.
Well, that'll give Hibbert and Arteta some encouragement. Both players on that side now on yellow cards, and Zogbia and Babayaro. Beattie and Cahill are danger in the air, as is Weir. Arteta swings it across, Cahill gets up, but clearing header. Bramble got it away.
I thought he was on the end of that one, Tim Cahill.
This corner. Another one for Ramage to deal with.
He's been busy, hasn't he? Ramage this half. He used his height to good effect. Positionally, he's been sound.
Arteta's corner. Weir got it this time. Actually, if he got a shove for his troubles then, David Weir. Back in by Van der Meyde.
The crowd were appealing for a push, but David Weir didn't seem to make too many protests. Well, it was half a little nudge, wasn't it, from Titus Bramble? Just put his man off.
Bramble. By Yobo. Well, that's back by Boomsong. And Zogbia. Here's Arteta. Careless moment from James Beattie. Here's Neville. Boomsong. Beattie's flagged offside.
Oh, it's so scrappy, it's unbelievable at the moment, but Everton are the team trying to show the initiative, trying to get things going. I think if you're the Newcastle manager Graham Souness, you're just expecting a little bit more from this team with the players he's got out there, a little bit more guile in possession, a bit more quality.
Shearer. Here's Yobo. Can get it out of his feet against Yobo, but potential for mix-up there. It's Shearer. It's Yobo, and he's gone for it himself when Emre, to his left, is furious. He wanted it played to him.
Well, I think he's entitled to have a shot. I don't think he even looked up to see Emre. Yobo. An almighty tangle though, Everton. Lack of communication there at the back. See Phil Neville saying talk, communicate. That's where they fell down. Nobody took responsibility.
Emre. Here's Ramage. Zogbia coming round the back. It was important, therefore, that Martin got a touch to that.
Whether they knew or not that there was a man bombing in at the far side. He's open today, but it's good mobility from Martin. Vital touch.
Emre's kick. Yobo! Well, they're claiming that it's handball, but the referee is just pointing for a corner.
Well, this will be interesting. Was it Nigel Martin? Was it James McFadden on the line? It's James McFadden. Stops a sure goal there. Well, the referee's missed that one, hasn't he? The linesman too.
Serrano's corner. Yobo challenges for it. Will it break here for Emre? It does for Shearer! And he's saved with his boot. Well, Everton off the hook twice.
Well, they'll feel very hard done by here. Doesn't quite catch all of it, Shearer, but it was a difficult one on the turn. It really was. Good trailing leg from Martin.
Ironic that Martin denies Shearer with his boot when Newcastle a moment ago should have perhaps had a penalty for the use of the hand of McFadden, right where the goalkeeper was making his dive.
Looked like it was going in for me. I don't think Martin had got there.
Parker. Here's Bramble. Away by Van der Meyde. Here's Bramble again. Parker, and back by Cahill. Tussle between McFadden and Emre.
Doing really well in that midfield area though. Everton, Cahill, McFadden, Arteta getting the boots in. Simon Davis.
Parker's lost out and Neville has room to move into. He's only got McFadden forward for support and he's offended by Titus Bramble.
Didn't really need to do that, Titus Bramble. McFadden was never going to run away from him. He'd got goal side. McFadden hasn't got the pace. Unnecessary one, he could have just shepherded his man out of danger. Going nowhere, McFadden.
Third Newcastle player to be shown a yellow card. Arteta's kick. Oh! It could have gone anywhere, and fortunately for Bramble, it went over the top.
Oh, those two involved in a scuffle at the far post. Such was the quality of the ball. It's always a difficult one for defenders. Oh, Babiaro, Everton are claiming, has had a little bit of a swipe off the ball on Tim Cahill.
Well, Celestine Babiaro is one of the Newcastle players who's already been shown a yellow card.
Well, as the referee seen it, that's the thing. It didn't appear first off that he had. We're just going to have a word.
He's managed to bring them out of the crowd to make his point, the referee.
It's a risky business as a defender. If you're trying to unsettle your man as the ball comes in, there's a hand anywhere near the face, the referee sees it. Easily a penalty. Have a look at the pair on the far post here. Is that right arm in the face? Cahill reacts. Two right arms in the face. He's a lucky boy. He really is.
From the corner, Hibbert swings it across. Beatty underneath it, Van der Meijden looks to keep it in and does.
Well, he's reacted, Tim Cahill, to the initial swipe. When you're a defender, you cannot afford to do that. Howard Webb, can't blame you really for not seeing it, and his eyes on the ball came into the box.
The fourth official has indicated there will be a minimum of 1 minute of added time to this in the first half.
Just 1 minute of the first half remaining. Opportunity perhaps for tempers to cool, but here is Cahill in the centre of the action. Van der Meijden! Good save! Bramble away, not too far, McFadden! Lost his composure.
Chances for Everton. And those are the best ones. Titus Bramble getting in a pickle here, not dealing with it. Decent enough strike, but Bramble has another opportunity to clear his lines, not put it straight back in to the Everton clutch of players, but easily have found Rosette out to the side here. Doesn't catch it all, Van der Meijden. Fadden has a good chance and he's way off.
Well, a lively end to the first half. McFadden lashing over at the end of a spiky first half in which Cahill towards the end was very much involved. Celestine Babiaro, who'd already been booked, taking a cheeky swipe at Cahill that went unseen by the referee. A referee who also turned down, it seemed, reasonable penalty appeals from Newcastle when McFadden on the line handle Certainly plenty of talking points, but also a welcome opportunity perhaps for frayed tempers to cool down at half-time in this high-stakes match. It's Everton 0, Newcastle 0. Well, the competitive spirit threatened to bubble over towards the end of the half, so we'll be keeping a very close eye on that confrontation between Cahill and Babayaro, because Cahill now is in the gaze of player cap. This is a fixture which has had a history in recent times of red cards. 4 in the last 6 meetings, 9 overall in the Premiership between these two. And don't forget that 3 Newcastle players already are on bookings from Howard Webb in the first half. Babayaro, one of them. It's Boomsong. Headed by Tony Hibbert, on by Simon Davis. Beattie just couldn't help it onto McFadden as he wished. Here's Arteta. Space here for McFadden to operate in, and he hits it! Good save!
That's just the start that I would have wanted. Everton. Babayaro knew he couldn't do anything against Arteta. He's on a yellow card, and this is a really good strike. And a good save as well.
Just the sort of purposeful start that Everton fans wanted to see at the beginning of the second half. It's Arteta's corner. Yobo gets up and scores! Well, who would have had money on him as the first goal scorer? Only his second of the season, and Joseph Yobo gives Everton hope.
Well, Peter Ramage has had so many important headers in the first half, but he just gets caught under this one. And Joseph Yobo climbs early, climbs well, and it's an emphatic header. Ramage can't get the spring. Yobo gets early, gets the arm on the shoulder of the fullback. Just the start you wanted in his second half.
First Premiership goal in 19 months for Joseph Yobo. His second actually against Newcastle. He scored on a previous visit to St James's Park. But normally you're expecting James Beattie to start the scoring for Everton, and Yobo has come up with the goods. And he has capped a determined start to this second half by the men in blue. Here's Hibbert. Just beyond the reach of Cahill. Here's Van der Meijden. And now Phil Neville. Away by Jean-Alain Boumsong. Here's Parker. Rescue clearance this time by Yobo, but Neville able to clear. Arteta, short of options. Emre, left by Shearer for Solano. Just waited, and that allowed Van der Meijden to pass. It's Cahill looking to set McFadden away. Given has come to deal with it.
That's where they have looked dangerous, and you just think a little bit more pace, Everton, down the sides of this Newcastle defence that looks far from secure today. They could get a lot more joy, and maybe a day for Marcus Bent at some stage to come off the bench. More than happy the way the second half started though, Everton. The McFadden shot, the corner, the goal, perfect.
Ramage's header. Headed by Davis. This is Phil Neville.
Foot over from Phil Neville, didn't quite come off.
At 45 minutes and 54 seconds. 45 minutes and 54 seconds.
Controlled with the hand of Shola Amiobi. Potential for change, Albert Luque.
Well, I think he wanted to introduce him, didn't he? He said before, and 20 minutes or so to go, but Needs to inject something into this team, and he's been decisive about it, Graham Souness. As soon as his team's gone a goal down, change the shape.
Beattie. Yobo. Arteta. This is Hibbert. Looking for Beattie. Lanced away by Bramble. Van der Meijden! Didn't even go out for the goal kick.
Oh, that's Everton at the best. Being really positive, whipping balls in, and this is the kind of service that James Beattie absolutely pines for. Couldn't deal with it. Van der Meijden slicing his shot.
And replacing him, number 20, Albert Luque.
Well, here's the Newcastle substitution and the return to first-team action of Luque in place of Celestine Babayaro. Luque, who's been so unlucky, having torn his hamstring in the second game of his Newcastle career against Fulham, missing 9 as a result.
Well, they'll give him an extra threat going forward. Charles Nzogbia, and he's just tucking in at left back. They have been disappointing up to now in general play. Newcastle haven't created anywhere near as much as they would have liked.
Headed by Bramble. Yobo. Cleared by Parker. This is Shola Ayobi. Now McFadden. Neville. Bramble. Here's Shearer. Now Luque. Parker's made the run from midfield, but Weir deals with it. Shearer. Cleared by Davis. This is Nzogbia. Now Luque.
Sweeps up well. Shay Given, good starting position. And he's ready for that ball there in the back. Difference already. Oh, but Luque, a couple of sweet touches. Great vision.
There's Weir. Davis. A bit launching it for McFadden. Here's Boomsong. Now Parker. Solano. Shearer. And cross from Ravage straight at Neville.
Handball, that one. Sure, certainly thought so.
Here's Nzogbia. Okay, breaking away from Hibbert. Unable to keep it in. 55 seconds into the second half before Joseph Yobo got that goal.
Well, it's a really good climb from the centre half on a powerful header. And on the post. Keeper couldn't get near it, really.
Well, the manager noted the time. A nasty shot to the system for Newcastle. This his cross, and there was no touch off Nzogbia. Well, they haven't lost, Everton, when they've scored first. Ramage. Never clearly out of position when he took the throw. Boomsong. Now McFadden. Stretch Newcastle by finding Arteta. Shoulder to shoulder with Nzogbia. Havertz. Luque got back with the block.
Working really hard, Everton. Arteta did ever so well to get their first down in the corner. There's Bobby Ward.
Well, it was Arteta's corner that serviced Yobo for the goal. And it's the same player over the kick. Here's Yobo. Beatty.
Give him a shot. And Boomsong from BT, but yet again the delivery was good, different type of corner. Near post one to BT, who gets the flick and it comes back in. Well, Boomsong goes down. Certainly wasn't BT that shoved him.
Here's Luque. Getting his body in the way. Beatty screens it from Boomsong. Cahill close in support. And Boomsong actually accidentally caught his own man there. It's Scott Parker.
No, he looks in trouble, Scott. He was just climbing over him, Boomsong, and caught him with his studs. A real battleground in the middle of that park. Neither Scott Parker or Emre have really been able to dictate the play. Another second on the ball.
Well, it was purely accidental damage done to his own teammate Parker here by Boomsong.
Right boot. That does the damage.
Newcastle needing a response, and Yobo is stripped ready to come on.
He's the type of player that gives you something a little bit different, loves to join the front pair to pop up at the right time in between.
Well, more action to come straight after this match with West Ham against Manchester United. Sir Alex Ferguson arriving looking relaxed, and of course the clash of the Ferdinand brothers on either side at Upton Park today. Kick-off is at 4 o'clock and it's live on Sky Sports 1. West Ham against Manchester United. Two of Everton's next three opponents, and it's also, of course, the match that handed the title to Kenny Dalglish when he was manager of Blackburn Rovers and had in his team one Alan Shearer. Bramble under the kick. Arteta didn't really get a clean strike on it and hit it into the ground.
And Everton, the team winning the second balls at the moment.
There's Parker soldiering on for now, but Bowyer is ready to come on when the chance presents itself. Solano down. Parker. Now Solano. Blocked by Davis. Beattie. Cahill. Solano blocked off Neville.
Pleads his innocence, Solano. The left elbow certainly caught Phil Neville.
And no further action will be taken against Solano because he's promptly been taken off.
He has been quiet today.
Newcastle United substitution coming off at this time, number 4, Norberto Solano, and replacing him.
It's Solano's withdrawal that brings about the introduction of Bowyer. Parker, who'd taken that whack to the head earlier, stays on. And Bowyer, furthest wide right of the four. And immediately involved to stop Van der Meijden progressing. Neville's throw. Now Van der Meijden. They're taking a quick short corner here, Everton, but Arteta disappoints with the eventual cross. To make the angle for another, this time from Van der Meijden, who's happier on his right foot.
Well, he's appealing for the foul, but there was a great chance to just dink this ball in on his left foot. Clearly not confident on it.
Now Davis looking to launch one for Beattie, who's just got the edge on Boumsong, and Shea Gibbons' high starting position gave him the chance to get there, but he took a whack for his trouble. Very brave goalkeeping.
There he was. He thought about coming and just held his position for a second, and that's why James Beattie was able to get his foot there. He was entitled to go for it, the centre forward. You can't see Gibbon, but he just hesitates for a second, but does the job in the end. Good goalkeeping.
Well, we see strikers these days often criticised for not sticking their head in when the boots are flying. Shea Gibbon didn't shy away. Davis. Arteta. Parker came across the deal with it, dived in recklessly, and he's reacted as well after the event. He's shown a yellow card as other players pile in to become involved. The initial challenge was bad enough without Parker's subsequent reaction.
Well, he's come from the distance. Scott Parker, good feet in a tight area. And you can see in a way why Scott Parker's annoyed, because he didn't catch too much, but Arteta's the lucky boy to get away with that reaction. He appears to have gone punished.
Fourth yellow card then for Newcastle. Arteta's kick. And here's Van der Meijden. Pushed away by Bramble. Here's Luque. past him by Hibbert.
Well, second best at the moment. Newcastle by a distance, just can't get a foothold in this second half. Everton working so hard right throughout the team.
Well, they'll be encouraged by the spirit they're seeing in this Everton team, the home supporters. They've shown here today that they have the stomach for the fight ahead. It was a particularly wounding defeat for them at West Brom because of the manner in which it occurred and the fact that it was against one of the teams that had been in peril with them. But so far, David Moyes getting the reaction from his team that he sought. Shearer's clash with Weir.
Well, doing what Shearer does best, backing in. He's taken a look at David Weir. I think he has caught him with the elbow. It's the fact that he has a look before the elbow comes up is what has got the fans so annoyed here. And he does catch him.
There will be those, Alan, who will say what was the difference between Shearer there and the one that was committed on him by the Grimsby player Whittle. The little look before the use of the elbow.
Yeah, I don't think it was as premeditated as that. He does tend to back him with his elbows anyway, Shearer, but I think he was lucky to get away with that, that's for certain.
On Moyes' side so far, standing up to be counted.
He'll be delighted, David Moyes, the way his team have set about Newcastle in the second half. Shown a lot of hunger and a lot of character.
Sending the big men forward. Ramage, Bramble, Boomsong in there with Shearer and Amiobi. It's in Amiobi's direction. Cahill climbs well there, doesn't he? Here's Scott Parker. Cahill came across and caught him. Ramage's throw, met by Neville and cleared by Van der Meijden. Lovely work from McFadden. He did this stretch Newcastle by finding Arteta. Hibbert forward in support. Three in the middle. And they just took it away from Beattie. And here's Luque. Amiobi to his right. Shearer to his left. Bowyer's come forward as well. We're in the way though. But he was fouled after the ball had gone, Luque.
And he's left the pass to the very last minute and just inviting the challenge. And James Beattie coming back, gets a piece of him.
And we're about to see the first Everton booking. James Beattie.
Typifies the desire of this Everton team now that the centre forward stashing back 20-30 yards to get a challenge in.
Fouls committed.
There's a few in now, aren't there? This is a good opportunity though. They had one similar in the first half and Solano trying to find the top corner with. Just fancy whether Shearer's once he's putting his foot through this one and just seeing what comes of it.
Shearer and Emre range, no question about it. They're the two over it. Shearer's moved away. Emre! Oh, hit his own man, Ramage and Yobo together. Here's Nzogbia. Parker. Martin untroubled.
Decent chance. Certainly one of the best that have created this half. It's Joseph Yobo that gets the header away. They haven't created enough of these kind of opportunities. Scott Parker, first time side foot. Can't quite get it right.
Emre, who scored a cracking free kick in the Tyne-Wear derby, now the subject of player cam. Arteta gets McFadden forward. Boomsong successful with the challenge though. Well, it's been lively. Everton have got 20 minutes more to hang on, and they're well versed in the art of keeping a 1-0 lead. Most of their victories in the Premiership lately seem to have been by that scoreline. All three of their victories so far this season by that margin. Here's Ramage. On by Luque. And here's Neville. Van der Meijden. Took his eye off it. And here's Parker. Ramage. Cahill delays the taking of the free kick. Battle between Shearer and Yobo.
Post. They've got hold of each other.
Beattie. Cahill. There's Bramble. Oh, he's given in trouble here with McFadden closing.
I think he knew what he was doing. Shay Given. He got a couple of dodgy back passes actually off Titus Bramble. A couple of little bobblers, testing his touch.
Beattie could be in here. McFadden. Arteta couldn't keep it in.
All defenders like to test their goalkeepers. Touch and metal. Should have given you this one. Haven't got the weight on it to go in all the direction.
On by Shearer. Yobo.
They're defending pretty well, Everton, at the moment. Keeping the discipline.
Arteta has a problem, which is the reason why Nigel Martin has put the ball out. But it is only a temporary hold-up. Luque has put the ball straight back out again. Boomsong's header out. Bramble. He's liable to rely on his strength, isn't he, when he's in those defensive situations?
Yeah, he's taking a chance when he's trying to shepherd it out like that. Time for a change for David Moyes. Give his side a little bit of impetus.
On by Shearer, back by Amiobi. Luque, first touch, let him down. Bramble. Yobo. Arteta. Now Davis. Led by Ramage.
He's done well, hasn't he? Good to Ramage, he's had a lot to do. And most of it he's done very well indeed.
Bramble. Yobo. Clash between Van der Meijden and Ramage. Newcastle just want to get on with things, and Ramage did that from the free kick. Here's Parker. Manages to avoid Cahill and keep going. Struck his own man, Luque. And it's away by Davis. Shea Given has come a long way, not put off by the fact that he took a whack to the head from BT earlier, and showing a good bit of footwork as well.
Well, he's probably made a mistake. He's had a good view of those kind of situations, and he's done it really well.
Off at this time, please show your appreciation for our number 27.
Well, it's all about win preservation, self-preservation now for Everton. So Kevin Kilban coming on.
Kevin Kilban.
And Andy Van der Meijden is the man who is going off. Van der Meijden still not played a full 90 minutes for Everton.
Well, he's shown his quality at times with his delivery, but also once or twice his control has let him down, still adjusting to the Premiership.
Here's Boomsong. And into Yobo in the end, but en route he'd actually been caught by Cahill. Less than quarter of an hour left here, but to come after this we've got West Ham against Manchester United, so make sure you stay with us for that, live from Upton Park, Sky Sports 1 from 3:30. Beatty. Hibbert. Now on Zogbia. Parker and Zogbia again. Cahill. McFadden.
They just won't let Newcastle settle, will they? Terriers about the Newcastle players whenever they're on the ball.
Neville. Here's Beatty. Kilban. Simon Davis. As the game draws towards its conclusion, Alan Shearer becomes the subject of player cam. He was the one name that Everton fans were dreading seeing on the team sheet. One said to me earlier that he always scores against them, and they're right, 18 in his career against Everton. But Everton going forward with Davis, great chance! Oh, he was onside as well, the flag stayed down, and Beatty spurns a great opportunity to tie this one up.
Well, he knows it as well, and it was work rate once again that won the ball back. Good vision from Davis. He's got the body shape of trying to keep over it, but it doesn't work out that way. Golden opportunity for James Beatty.
He knows it as well as anyone, and the pain of that miss will be felt by him, because that could have finished Newcastle off once and for all.
Just a little bit of composure.
Substitution
for the goal. He knows he's on his own, he knows he's got all the time in the world just to hit the target. He possibly can.
Number 21,
quite a distance off in the end, over the top of the crossbar. How many times would he find the back of the net in training when we're on with one of those chances? A bit different on a match day.
Another Everton change. Mikel Arteta, who's picked up a knock, is going off to be replaced by Leon Osman. And really now Osman could have been coming on with the game virtually sewn up. But as it is, it's still in the balance. More than 10 minutes left, and Newcastle given hope. This is Luque. Hibbert fends him off, Osman gets straight into it. And here's Kilban with Neville on the overlap. There was a foul by Ramage. And it's the 5th card for a Newcastle player.
Thought Howard Webb was just going to allow the advantage. He could have brought it back and booked Ramage afterwards. Phil Neville had got onto this down the flank.
Here's McFadden. Kilban. Neville. Osman.
Well, I haven't seen all of the games Everton, but this has got to be as well as they played, I would imagine. In front of their own fans. Good controlled performance this second half.
His ball in, he's offside, Amiobi. Less than 10 minutes left now for Newcastle to save themselves from slipping to a second consecutive defeat. But is this a turning point for the man on the other side? McFadden. Osman. Beyond Cahill, Beattie's round the back.
He's put in a lot of work, a lot of endeavour. This match, James Beattie. I think Goodison Park is still waiting to see the best from him, but can't complain about his level of effort today.
Bramble. Kilban has pushed it on. Bramble has that space covered. Newcastle have been complaining about time wasting. Given had to snatch the ball back to try and get things going again from the free kick, but the opportunity wasted. Fiercely determined Scotsman David Moyes, who has of course been linked with the Rangers job should it become available, but here at Everton he seems to have retained the faith of a large portion of the Everton supporters, despite the problems that they have been having. Tangle between Davis and Bowyer. It's a dreadful waste.
I was just thinking, man of his ability, could be a dangerous situation, this. They've got it completely wrong, Albert Luque. Unfair to ask him to come on the second half and really change the match for Newcastle. He's still getting to grips with life in England, never mind about life on the park.
Marcus Spence, who used to play for Graham Souness at Blackburn Rovers, all set to come on.
Third substitution for Everton as he comes off on number 8.
James Beattie, who wasted a great chance to score for the third home game in a row.
James at this time
as the man being replaced.
Well, he'll be sat at home tonight in his armchair, kicking himself, I'm sure. That moment will be going through his mind time and time again when he could have put the game beyond doubt. But I think he'll be quietly pleased with the way it's gone in general.
Is it going to be yet another 1-0 win for Everton? Shearer looking for Luque. He's onside here, but he was outnumbered.
I don't know what Luque was trying to do there. Waiting for the ball to drop instead of attacking it and shifting it forward.
Here's Bowyer. It's Luque again. Shearer available if he can pull it back, but he's gone for it himself. And into the side netting.
It just shows you can't switch off for a second. A couple of very dangerous moments. Shearer involved in both. And Bowyer's final through ball.
Shearer given hope up against David Weir. He's managed to conceal it from him. And Zogbia's cross to Yobo. Neville. There's Yobo. Marcus Ben couldn't keep it in.
Well, up to now, it's probably been more comfortable than even Everton would have anticipated. The moments, last few minutes for Newcastle, but haven't been able to build anything sustained.
Zogbia. That was dipping, but not quickly enough.
Complaining about the foul throw there from Luque. Almost tried to place it in the net there, and Zogbia.
Well, anyone who had money on Joseph Yobo to be first goal scorer has done well. 50-1 he was, and he's picked up an award himself, the Barclays Man of the Match. Will it be the last goal of the match?
Well, if they do lose this one, Newcastle will look back on that James McFadden handball, weren't they, on the line? It was denied them. Shearer's chance. 1 and 2 many, not as many as they would have expected.
Here's McFadden. He's done well to weave a way through. Great stop.
He's not done much wrong either, has he? Shay Given had a really good game. So has McFadden, in fairness. Good awareness. Good strike. You'd expect the keeper to stop that just above him.
Song and Given going for the same ball. McFadden will get another chance here. It's a good delivery towards Cahill, but Bramble in the way.
Typical Cahill run, throwing himself at the ball. And Bramble knew that time there was somebody behind him. They'll be happy just to take the time now, Everton. Tick the clock down. Worked really hard. Almost 90 minutes.
Ladies and gentlemen, the fourth official has indicated...
Everton 3 minutes away now from getting back on the straight and narrow. That's how much stoppage time there is. Cahill looking to get underneath it. It's going to fall here to Osman. And here's McFadden. Good opening. Tries to place it. Cahill. And again. Oh! He can't believe that Given thwarted it.
Well, maybe Given can't believe it either, that he got the opportunity to do it. In fairness, Cahill's, both of his efforts are straight at the keeper. A little dink over him, and it's a goal, particularly on that second one. That's where he should have done better, Cahill.
There's Yobo. Neville. Coban. Well, it's almost as though his team don't know how to win a game any other way than 1-0.
Well, 3 points, that's the most important statistic, if that's what they end up getting. The goals will come with the results, with confidence. In his day as his team haven't really been firing on all cylinders. Do miss a player like Michael Owen. Just for that pace to make defenders think. Makes them drop off, creates a bit more room for the midfielders and Scott Parker.
Looking for Coban in the corner, but he couldn't get it in. Newcastle will have a quick chance to pick themselves up in the week and they pursue their ambitions in the Carling Cup. Still they can't string a consistent run together in the Premiership. Here's Emre. Is there one last chance for an equaliser for Newcastle? Cleared by Yobo, goal scorer. Emre and Zogbia driven against Hibbert. Well, Everton's goal came from a corner, and Newcastle with a corner now to give them one last attempt to get their equaliser, and Shay Given has come forward for it. And it's towards him, he can't get near it, Bowyer hits it, Yobo deflects it, Luque looks to keep it in, and it's all over, and Everton are back to winning ways. David Moyes' team grinding out a trademark 1-0 win thanks to a goal from Joseph Yobo, a header from a corner, 55 seconds into the second half. The pivotal points of the game either side of half-time. Newcastle before the break denied a penalty through what seemed to be a clear handball from James McFadden. A second successive defeat for them, but Everton getting the response they needed off the back of their West Brom defeat. Everton 1, Newcastle 0.